Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the You Are Beautiful podcast. I am Jordan. This is Liz, one of our favorite people on our team, and this is Mo.
One of our least favorite people on our team.
But necessary.
Awesome. Welcome. This is amazing. I'm like super excited. So I'm going to introduce Liz. Liz is our in-house celebrity. It's one of my best friends. I don't have to be your best friend, but you're one of my best friends. Liz, when did you start training with me? Was it 2019?
Almost 3 years, yes.
Almost 3 years.
3 years. Is
All right. So
intermittently.
this is my experience with Liz, right? So every single time I start a client, so when Liz started with me, I was training for about 5-6 years, developing my methodology. And the way my methodology works, it's about like, and we've talked about it in the other episodes. It's like slow and steady. I don't want to give you like really fast results and damage your hormones, your joints, and all that stuff in the process. So, and I've experienced it with other people. It takes some time to build their strength up. And a lot of people around them who've been training with me for a long time, they're stronger, the form is better and all that stuff. So I always tell them that, hey, we're going to go slow and steady, and then we'll slowly take the training wheels off, right? And then you'll be able to catch up with everybody. And then the intensity too. So intensity just means how hard the set is, right? You're not going to be pushing yourself to about 100%. As soon as you start. So I always tell them, I kind of baby them, and I see their pain tolerance, how sore they are the next day. And the first time, literally within 2 to 3 weeks, you were pushing just as much as everybody else. The strength was going up, weights going up, all that stuff. And we can go into the details during the podcast about the timeline. But this has happened 2 or 3 times where you had to take a break for some reason, and when you came back, and I would start the same speech again, and this it's mind-boggling that, all right, we've been off for a little bit, we're gonna go slow and steady, and within days you're completely fucking shit up, destroying it, and it's mind-boggling. I've been doing this for 10 years, and it has a lot to do with maybe just your genetics. Or I don't know, you were crossbred with a god or something. It's insane, and every single that mental toughness. And it's beautiful that every time you come in and you give me that look. Okay, motherfucker, I've heard this before, and you just smoke it.
That's almost every day, though.
And I want to and this is mostly about your character and stuff, and how much I love you. That. I remember when we first, right before COVID hit, you just bought a 4-month training pack. I'm going to, she paid me up front. We took $10-20 off a month. And within the first 2 weeks, COVID hit and everything shut down. And whether or not you want to tell people about this, I do. And it's still near and dear to my heart that I told her when it was time to come back, hey, you paid me 4 months up front. So you can train with me when you come back and finish that up. And she refused to do that and still paid me, because what she said, I still remember. She said, you're a business owner, you're going through this shit, and I know that things are tough, so I want to support it and keep your business going. Now, I didn't ask her questions. I mean, COVID's hitting everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody, businesses are down and all that stuff. And at that point, I mean, obviously I wanted to, but the thing is, I needed it too. Mm-hmm. So I gladly accept that. And I wanted to her to come back and finish the training when I was good. But it means a lot to me. Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
You and in all honesty, 3 years is a long time. And I've gone through ups and downs, and I've had multiple conversations with you. You're way more to me than a client. At some levels, you've actually played a role of my mom as well. I would literally call you and talk to you about what I was going through, my decisions and all that stuff. So over this time, you're one of the people that has brought. I can't put a number, or I can't quantify how much value I'm bringing to you, but you brought a lot of value. That the money that you pay me every month means nothing to me compared to like how much you brought. Like
That means a lot. Thank
because
you.
you're welcome, because I am, man, this is still this is
No, this is
introduction.
great.
Yeah.
This is introduction. And like, I've been in this country by myself since I was 20, so I didn't really have role models, people to look up to and stuff. So I'm just like figuring my shit out through life. But you're one of the people that really helped me develop a better, mature thought process. Question what I'm doing is right and wrong when it comes to dealing with people, business, and all that stuff. So Liz, I love you. Thank you
Aw.
so much for
Thank you,
taking
Mo.
the time. My business, myself as a man, my training methodology would not be here if you wouldn't have put in 3 years with me.
Wow, that's
Aw.
wild.
And not
Yeah.
only that,
Thanks
you're
for
here
saying that.
at 8:30 on your Sunday to come do this with me and
For
support it.
sure, yeah. Thanks for having
That's
me.
Liz.
That's,
Oh.
I'll leave now.
It's a great introduction.
Thank you.
Jordan,
Thank
you have something to say or ask her? Or drink my coffee.
Let's see. Well, I'm learning a lot too, because I have known you for about a year since I started working out, but I didn't know that you were with Mo for 3 years so far. And I see you doing other things here as well.
Yeah.
You also train with Ronnie, is that right?
No, I train with James.
With James
For boxing.
For
Yeah,
boxing.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And
But Ronnie's equally badass. I mean, I
Yeah.
would train with him in a heartbeat. But for
pretty
sure,
incredible. So you do your workouts with Mo, and then you have additional workouts during the week
During
for the
week,
boxing.
Yeah. So I try to work out with Mo 3 days a week minimum. If I can fit him for it, depending how I feel physique wise. And then I wanted to incorporate boxing. Boxing's always been something I've really enjoyed. I did it as a kid.
Okay.
So spent summers in boxing camps and what have you. So it was nice to get back into that. So way I can strengthen condition without cardio. Right.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
still
yeah.
have strength
Yeah.
and conditioning.
Mhm.
And I think it's therapeutic.
So you've always been very active through your
I
life.
have been, yeah. I was active. I played a lot of sports throughout my youth. I coached a junior softball team. I played
Oh,
softball
wow.
in junior college. So
Yeah.
I think I've done a little bit of everything. We always joke I know a little about a lot. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Maybe I should pay more attention to when you're talking to me. I didn't know. Like, that makes complete sense. That makes complete sense. So you were, like, quote unquote, an athlete. Like, you're playing sports.
I was playing sports. Yeah.
So
I was never on track to be the professional athlete. I
Uh-huh.
just liked sports. I still enjoy sports. So for sure.
So go through from 0 to 10. I know you just at 1 years old. You're probably doing push-ups and backflips and all
I've
that
done
stuff.
a little
but
bit of everything. Like
so-
I said, I've done a little bit of everything. I played softball through 2 years in junior college. So that was all through, little league, t-ball, softball, high school. I ran track and field. I've done swim
Wow.
team. I was recruited for soccer, but it's not my thing. A lot of running.
So, as a kid who didn't ever do anything myself in sports and stuff like that,
Yeah.
nothing, I wasn't drawn to it. I mean, physically, I wasn't that capable, and that mindset of okay, I can do something to change myself wasn't
Yeah.
really there. So, were you always drawn to that stuff,
Yes.
or
Yeah.
was it? So,
Yeah.
it's like the chicken and the egg thing. Were you already fit and you were better than people at like physical activities, and that's why you were drawn to it, or you were already drawn to it and that's how you got better?
I was drawn to it. I was born and raised in San Diego. We live by a beach. We have year-round nice weather. So I think part of it too, because it's not my family. It's not a family thing. I'm a mom of daughter of an immigrant. My mom's an immigrant. That kind of thing. She's not into sports or anything like that. So we live by a beach. So I took myself surfing.
Yeah.
I grabbed a boogie board. I jumped on the bus.
You can surf too.
I can surf.
Liz,
too.
I'm like, thank
can't
God,
she do?
I was-
I can surf too. It's been a while. Physically, it's harder. Our water is colder, so I have joint issues, which we work through. But so the water's a little bit colder. So if I wanted, to get a wetsuit, but yeah, I've surfed. So as a kid, I was like, I want to go to the beach. I want to surf. My parents worked, so they couldn't take me, so I took myself on the bus. I had a boogie board, bought it like secondhand or something like that, and jumped on. I mean, grew up in Golden Hills, not too far from where we're at now. Jumped on a bus, took myself to Coronado. Would
Wow.
surf all day long, especially in the
So
summers.
you've already been active and this and that. Why were you doing with me for 3 years? Why did
I
you
don't
decide
think
to get
I
a
was
trainer?
active, but I don't think that I've ever been. I am someone who rather do some instead of going into a gym and half-assing something and doing it wrong or not getting the maximum outcome. You know, if I go in or if I'm not seeing results, I want it, and also I need someone to give me direction. It's easier for me. I think it was just having this conversation with somebody. It's easier. I am typically the one in control, right? Whether I'm at home managing, whether my work roles that in the past. I've always been someone in a leadership role who has to make decisions. At the gym, I just wanted to walk in and have someone tell me what to do,
Yeah.
right? To a certain degree, Mo.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
I wanted to walk in and I didn't want to think about it. I want to walk
Uh-huh.
in here and I want to get the best results I can get. I want that push, right? I want someone to push me, but I don't want to think about my workout. I don't want to. I want someone to come up with my plan for me because
Yeah.
I'm so used to being the one with the plan. This is not my area of expertise. This is not my wheelhouse. Let me come in. But yeah, always something.
I like that. I like that
Yeah.
understanding. I'm like that with things too. Like if it's a new skill, well now because it took me so long to figure this whole fitness thing out.
Yeah.
That I'm like, dude, now I understand that it's gonna take me just as long. So I might as like for coaching, I go to Ronnie, and
Right.
I've never ever even felt interested in doing that or actually felt the need to like go over there because like I was in shape, my cardiovascular endurance was going up, but now that I've started, I know for a fact that like I wouldn't be able to do it myself.
Yeah.
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 But you came to me pretty later on in life compared to like a lot of my other clients who start. But so have you? So with that mindset, have you? And I completely agree and understand that, and it pushes people forward faster. Like if I had gone on a coach when I was like 20, 21, maybe I would have been ahead of the game. But I mean,
Why did I do it at the age that I did it at?
I mean,
Or-
what did you actually have trainers before that?
I had trainers on and off, and I can go to I've gone on the gym on my own. I was doing group classes. I think like anybody who isn't maybe in the fitness industry, we ebb and flow, right? We go through phases where we go on these diets or eat differently, and so as being someone who's always worked out or been in some sort of sport, it just kind of fluctuates. And then so I think I had reached a point again in my life. I got sick. I got myself started going on walks, and finally I was at a point where I needed to maintain a physical fitness, to maintain my bone structure, to support my joints, and I knew this is not something I could do on my own. So and at the point in my life that I came to you, it had been after being in the hospital and finally getting back to a point in my physicality that I needed to continue this. This is a lifetime. I think we've always talked about that. It's lifetime. It's,
Yeah.
So
I want to
commit that to myself, for myself. Yeah.
So I want to pick on that part when you said you can't do it on your own because, dude, the entire like a bunch of people
Do it on their own.
like the most of the people that I see around, they're just gonna try to do it on their own. Now you're a very capable person, successful. You're crushing. You've been an athlete. Why did you like? I mean, you've gone through life being fitter than most people, and you've had trainers before. Why are you thinking that you can't do this specific task on your own?
I think I had done a lot on my own. I think I had peaked
Mm-hmm.
on my level of knowledge of going into a gym and I think the other thing too is where I pick and choose to put my energy. So what maybe that comes from a place that I have the resources to be able to do it too. So for me, it was I've peaked on my own knowledge, on my own abilities. I go walk into a gym, and I kind of fiddle with the machines, and I'm like, no, I need something more for me,
Okay.
right? And I can do it. Can I do it? Yes. Am I capable? Yes. Do I want to? Or would I rather take this money and invest it over here? And that's part of it is my background too. Where do I want to? If I'm going to take this money, where am I going to put it? I'm going to put it towards someone who's going to help me continue to grow in my in my physical well-being, not my fitness journey, because that's not what it is. It's my physical well-being. For me, it's my physical well-being. Who's going to continue and maintain that? And because I've reached my limitations on what I can do in a gym on my own. Can I watch YouTube? Yes. Can I go and do this? And I think even coming into it, when I started, I was like, well, maybe I'll have takeaway. I'll get so comfortable and take away all the these movements I can do, and then go take that to the gym with me on my own. But it evolved and it turned into something different, right? And I don't like redundancy. I don't like the same thing. You mix it up for us a lot. So
Yeah.
I'm really glad that you're still seeing value, because one of the biggest challenges, I don't face these challenges, but there's something that I'm very cautious about, and I put a lot of effort into. It's because you're fitter than the average person. You're way, way fitter, like obnoxiously fit, right?
Thank
So you're very welcome. So my like somebody who's just starting out, it takes me 2 seconds to give them results. I have a magic wand. I take one puff of this, blow, and like they'll lose body fat. But when somebody is at your level, I want to take extra effort, and that's why I keep evolving my training program, because I always say that if I'm the same coach that I was 6 months ago, fire me, because you can easily do this. So it makes me really happy that you're still seeing value in that. And another thing I would want to point out, not actually point out, and really focus on, that we've been talking about your fitness journey and why you decide to, like, I don't like saying seeking help, or just finding somebody who knows something better and trying it out. Not one time you mentioned, oh, I had a little bit of body fat. Oh, I wasn't comfortable in my physique, this and that. Dude, I know you've always, you're pissing confidence, like more than anybody else, since the day you walk in, whether it's day 1 or day 15. Not one time you said, oh, I want to like look good. And not one time of like uncomfortable, I needed confidence. Nothing. Like specifics. I want to be healthier. I want to be faster. I want my bone density, all my joints to be better. And this is awesome for me, and I think this is one of the biggest reasons why you excel so much, because you haven't given a lot of thought into like the physical aspect. Every single thing that you came out of your mouth was like, I want to be better, I want to be stronger, I want to be healthier, which is one of the biggest reasons I'm doing this podcast, is to show people that the people who actually get the most results, people who I love being around, that help me grow and help the one of the biggest things. Oh, I need to change this. One of the biggest things. It's like you motivate people around you. There have been so many sales. There's so many clients that have started just because they see you. And I've had a lot of girls on my Instagram, like when I'm training them, shaking their booty, this thing, that thing, all that sex appeal, and I don't get any business from it, and I don't want business from that, because that's the type of clients that are attracting. But with you, you motivate people to sign up, stay long, and do it for a positive reason. The people that sign up because they say you are the people who are going to change their lives tremendously, and makes me realize that I'm doing something more wholesome, something that actually matters. And these are the people that bring themselves up, and with their motivation, I'm getting more motivated. So, like, literally, Liz, you are from point A to point Z what I want from a client, from a friend. It's amazing. Not one time you said like, oh, I want to look good in the bikini, because you knew you look good in the bikini with more body fat and less body fat. Your husband, who's a Navy SEAL, is still gonna want you, because how dare he not?
I mean, thank you. Yeah, but I think part of it is phases of life, right?
Do you mind?
No.
Okay.
No, it's phases of life. My phase of life is a little bit different than those individuals. I've lived maybe a little more life than some of the other people. There's not to take away from the people who come in and want to lose, or target certain areas, or trying to get ready for an event or what have you. Those are all important reasons and goals. I think I'm just I hope, and that's the hope for, I think, everyone, is you get to a point in your life that that's not why you're doing it. that you're right. That we're doing it because to be healthier, to be fitter, to prolong your life, to build around, you know, just for your physicality, not for your looks.
Yeah.
But I mean, those things are important. I don't want to discount or dismiss those or diminish those. But for me, at the point I had come, at the stage I am in my life, at the point those weren't what I was prioritizing for for what I was doing it for.
Right.
I do, and I thank you, but I do wish more people had just that confidence in themselves, right? Everybody at all shapes and sizes. If you're doing it, I would say 30 minutes in here, you're lapping everybody on the couch. Even if you come in and give 50%, it's 50% more than you would have been doing if you were home.
Dude,
Nice.
that's profound. 30 minutes over here, you're already lapping everybody on the couch.
Right? Yeah, not to take away. Everybody needs a nap every once in a while.
I mean, you
Right?
come.
You get up,
Yeah.
you come in, and you're like, I'm just going to go in, I'm going to give 50%. Well, you're here, and that's always better.
You know, if you drive
That's
to the
true.
gym, if you just drive to the gym, you come in and give Liz a high five and you
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
worked out.
You're better off.
alone,
Yeah,
that
you worked
alone,
out.
just watching her, seeing her, being in her presence will motivate you. At least you did something.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And, you know, we came with a really good idea. So you are training for an event. You're training for life.
You're
And-
training for life.
And
yeah.
that big ass
true.
event
Right.
has all the events, has all the weddings you
is.
have to go to,
Yeah, it's true.
the pool party, the beach. For one isolated bitch ass event that's coming up in 2 months,
Yeah.
you're gonna sacrifice your joints and this and that. No, dog, just train for life. Think about
Right.
long term, bigger, stronger, faster, leaner. You're not gonna stop doing this. All right, you're gonna look good in the next 2 months. But there'll be another pool party. There'll be
Yep.
another.
There's always going to be something.
Yeah.
And you're always going to be prepared
Right.
because you're
Yeah.
always doing what you need to do.
That's right.
I want to ask you a little bit about like your challenges. What have you been through where you've really had to tap into your like mental toughness to make it through? I mean, Mo says you've taken a few breaks, you've come back, and you're just on it. Like as soon as you come back, like where do you pull from for that mental strength, or have you just always been that way?
I think in part I've always been that way. I'm oldest of 3 sisters. I'm the oldest of 3
Okay.
girls. I wouldn't say rough childhood is relative. It wasn't ideal. Didn't have a great dad, that whole situation. So just I think being the oldest, having a mom who's super resilient, seeing that, so having that, she powered through everything, raised 3 kids, came to a country, didn't know the language, got her
Yeah.
education, bought a house, did that whole thing, got her citizenship. So
It's amazing.
So seeing someone having that type of role model. So for me, it just was. I think it's just bred mental toughness at some point. I mean, the things I've been through aren't. It's always hard. I always say, don't do this to yourself. It's not like, oh, it could be worse, right? But it's my lived experiences. Not in 2017. I have lupus, so in 2017 I got really sick from that lupus. So it affected my heart, my lungs, a lot of my major organs. I was in the hospital for about 4 weeks.
Oh,
Some would say near death, but you don't know it because you're as they say, the only one who doesn't. It doesn't matter when you die is you because you don't know about it, right? Like,
oh my gosh.
like you don't know. Like, yeah, who's gonna be? Not me. So, after that, I wasn't able to go back to work. The job I had for many, many years, I wasn't able to return to. I had from being in the hospital, your muscles, you atrophy. I had to do physical therapy, walk, stuff like that. So if this was going to be my new life, not, I have a small, at that time, my daughter was 3, so I have a small child at home. My spouse, I'm really sick. Now I'm home and not working. I need to get physically better. So what is my priority? My focus is now my health.
Wow.
So if
And
this,
how long ago was this?
2017.
Yeah.
So that just, it was a pivot. It was a life pivot. So having the choice, your career what felt like being taken from you or losing that's required a lot of mental toughness, me reevaluating my purpose. Not that being stay-at-home mom, it just wasn't what I was used to.
Yeah.
I was used to working. I've always been very independent, made my own money, made my own living, made my own way. I think even my husband would agree. He's like, you do what you want. I really do. If I am determined to do it, I do.
Yeah.
it. So
you don't give up.
No. Well, and I don't. It's hard for me to take no for an answer. So
Yeah, I love that though.
that all kind of, that was a big pivot in 2017. But I think that's just kind of the way I've always been in smaller occasions. This is probably one of the bigger life instances.
Big scale, yeah.
So that was I think you and I talked a little bit about it. I lost a lot of my hair because of that.
Oh,
so stuff like that. Just from being that ill, the hair thinned, it fell out, so I went short. So another choice that's taken away from you to realize the value we place on hair and looks.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Liz, this might sound
Her
weird,
hair
but
is the best freaking hair
I'm
ever.
like, I'm kind of glad that happened. But
I've
I'm
always
always
admired
but I'm
her
like,
hair.
dude, you have
I
the
know.
coolest hair.
Seriously.
I always tell her if I had hair, I would have it like this. I swear to God.
Yeah, I mean, it works. I mean,
It's
I'm
beautiful.
awesome.
It works. I mean, I'm able to wear it my natural curl again, which I
Yeah.
don't think I was doing. I was straightening it,
Yeah.
or blowing it out, which is, it's this time of year. It's warm, and so yeah. No,
It's
there's
easier.
it's all, in the end, it's all turned out fine. I'm here. I got great short hair.
Right, but you pushed through all
We're the
that.
It's
same.
easier to use less shampoo.
You're the only person who can relate with me, dude. I always wanted long hair and started going away. I'm like, fuck it.
Well, I think too. I mean, and it's not to go down a different,
Yeah.
road, but I think everything markets to long hair.
Yeah.
Some bullshit.
Yeah,
Like
it does.
it markets long hair. Even shirts, there was like, throw your hair up in a bun and go attack the world. I'm like, well, I fucking can't. I fucking can't throw it up in a bun. Like, can you make a shirt for me?
Yeah, right.
Like, I want to go attack the world, but
No, that's
Well,
the
you
thing.
did it more hardcore. You're like, just cut it off.
But everything you see is a lot of it is catered to longer hair.
is.
The industry is long hair, especially
Yeah.
women. Women in particular, it's like long locks, luscious hair. The hair industry with extensions,
Yes.
and then there's nothing wrong with it. I think it's beautiful, yes, at one point, but it's not.
But so is short hair, man.
Yeah,
I
short
wish
hair's
more
cool,
women
too.
would go short.
Yeah.
Hair's cool,
I've had
too.
moments where I just lop my hair off to like
Yeah.
nothing, and it's really like
I think,
liberating.
yeah, we place so much value
Yeah.
and behind long hair and the beauty of long hair that I think it is as scary. And granted, I didn't do it purposely, but it can work.
But you accepted
can work.
it.
Yeah, I
You
did.
just
I did.
overcame that challenge, and you're rocking it.
Thank
Like
you.
your hair is so perfect for
Thank
you.
you.
I can't
Thank
even
you.
imagine you with long
I think
hair. Like
that's- yeah.
this just totally
It does
fits
work.
your
Thank
personality
you.
and everything.
Yeah,
So
I like it.
So this is a really good example of how all these negative thoughts that we're internalizing through marketing are 100% fake. Like the only person worrying about it, and it's so. Like, for example, you were not thinking about you can't have long hair and this and that and all that, but everybody around you, and I didn't even think about that. I didn't think about why it's there. I just thought, like, man, the only reason I thought, like, only in my head over and over again, she's like, wow, Liz wants to stand out from everybody
Yeah.
else. He's like, all these mofos are long hair. I can't even imagine you with long hair. I would,
Yeah.
you know what? If you start growing, I wouldn't like it. She's like, so like, but you, because of the marketing, are thinking about it. Like me, all my life, like when I started losing hair, like, so I went on this crash diet where I started eating, and I was just quote unquote overweight. I don't like using that word, like overweight. I mean,
Right.
compared to like on whose opinion,
Right.
what's over?
Yeah.
But anyway, so I lost a bunch of hair, and then from 20 to 30, always like trying to see this, blah, blah. And I'm looking at hair products, doing this thing and that thing to like make my hairline better, grow it out. And finally, I'm like, fuck it. And I shaved my head. All I got was compliments. No, then people kept asking me, why did you shave your head? Why did you shave your head? I'm like, bro, haven't you seen the receding hairline for the last 5 years? No, nobody noticed. Nobody noticed.
Right.
And then I've
Right,
had
yeah.
clients come in where I'm like, hey man, your legs are getting bigger, and I'm not gonna say who. And they're like, let's wear some shorts. And I say it a couple of times, just for shits and giggle. And then I hear, hey, I get a text message, hey, I don't want you to think that I'm not listening to you or like showing off my quads because like I'm like, oh, let's see how jacked they are. I just have psoriasis on my legs. I'm a little insecure and this and that. I'm like, okay, how about this? Has anybody ever said anything negative about your psoriasis? They're like, no. All right. So why do you think that somebody would say it? Like, where did that thought come from? I'm like, oh, I just thought. I mean, you saw it somewhere on television. When you maybe you saw an advertisement advertising for a pill that helps psoriasis, where this girl or guy goes outside and they're starting to feel insecure and everybody's looking at it. Not one time has anybody ever looked at her psoriasis and said, oh, that's gross.
Yeah.
And she came in with that stuff. And her legs look amazing. And every single person, I didn't talk to anybody about it. I didn't ask anybody to like not know. All they were talking about is how jacked those quads are.
Right.
Wow.
These are all internally created
It is.
things. So like,
Well, we're taught it's like you said in commercials. or
happy
whatever,
people
like,
don't
ew.
buy stuff, dude.
No.
Now you can buy hair extensions. Now I can put those goddamn plugs in my hair
Yeah,
and
yeah.
pay $35 a month for a pill that doesn't work.
Yeah.
So
I think too, just like knowing that you're different, because I have eczema, and when I was a teenager, or like when I hit puberty, it got really bad on my legs, and I would just like scratch myself to death and like have all these scars, and it was horrifying. It was embarrassing, and I would hide in the bathroom when I had to change, in PE and whatever, and I don't know where that came from because I was too young to have like social media. I don't even think it was around yet. But
Because kids are assholes.
it was bullying, and it was just like knowing like,
Right.
okay, I'm different. I'm a freak or something, and it's a really hard thing to overcome. But yeah, like what Mo's saying, like if you got some jacked muscles under that whatever like semi-flawed skin, nobody is going to give a crap. And
No.
and
That's
even
just
if
how
you
it
don't
is.
have jacked muscles, man,
Yeah, no,
stop
seriously,
worrying
no one
about
cares.
other
No.
people.
yeah, don't add to the problem of
Yeah. What do you want? Like, and who's gonna having that internal, that internal conversation with yourself. But when people on the outside say that, like, to me, it's even. That's what even gets me more. People who like point out the
Yeah.
issue, like whoever is that person who's going to point it out, and I'm going, what purpose does that serve by you saying
right.
that?
What are you getting from
Right,
this?
like,
yeah,
like I get, kids, like the bullying, like in that case, like they just haven't learned. But once you're a grown ass person and you're still doing stuff like that, I'm just like, what purpose does that serve? When you
Right.
go, for
You're
me, if I'm going to say something, what is the purpose driven behind it? And if it's just to be an ass or point out something that you clearly can't change,
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't change, like, if you have eczema or psoriasis, you can't change that. If you're hairy, you can't change that.
Right.
I mean, yes, you can wax, or yes, maybe you can treat it with the, but what is the purpose of going ill?
yep,
Right?
I can answer that question.
Yeah. What, other than you
Grandmaster
being,
Gins.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I can answer that
Yeah.
question. So it's insecurities, and you're still the same bully.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Insecure.
Yeah.
So look, the only way. Let's say you walk in with eczema, and
Yeah.
I get that. So for example, I'll use myself in as example. I haven't been doing that much, so I can do it now. So I walk in right to a gym, jacked as fuck, right? Oh, what do you do? This and that, blah 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 blah. I'm like, all right, here's my input. Here's what you can do. Blah. Yeah, but girls like height. I'm like, really? That's all it is.
That's it.
You
Yeah.
feel
Right.
insecure.
That's all you got? Yeah.
I see Liz. I'm like, fuck. Liz is jacked as fuck. Oh, Liz has a daughter. He has a husband. I'm an insecure single little bitch. Right? So, right? I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, oh shit. I can be like Liz. I can be like Liz. Oh, I can get jacked. I can start working out. Oh, Liz doesn't drink that. All right, I'm gonna cut out. Wow, that's a lot of work. Liz goes to the gym. Like, it's a lot of money too. I gotta get a trainer. Oh shit! Wait. Liz has psoriasis. Liz, what's over there? Psoriasis. Oh,
Yeah.
look, I know I can't be like Liz.
Yeah.
I can't get Jack. I don't want to get this. That's too much work.
Yeah.
Right? I can't not be a slut and go find a nice man too. Like Liz has psoriasis. I'm better. Liz, you have psoriasis.
Yeah.
That's all that's
Wow.
happening.
Yeah.
That's all that
Point out
happening.
my imperfections.
Yeah.
Whatever. I get it.
with
I get
guys,
it.
same thing. Like, oh, you're just Jack, but can you fight? Yes, yes. Right, like,
Test
but
that theory. Yeah.
exactly, it's just pointing out like it's really hard. So look, whenever you see somebody who is at a higher level, there's nothing wrong with admiration, admiring and respect. So when you admire someone, there's some sort of envy going on, and there's not.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not bad. It's good because you're like, hey, for the same, you have the same capabilities, and you can get that,
Yeah.
right? So it's really hard for me to be like, all right, that little height of the mountain has a better view. I can go up too. But I can push myself. I can fix my diet, be more disciplined. I can climb up that mountain. But it's going to be really hard. What's easier is to convince myself that area up there, it's not that good.
Right.
And that could be
Yeah.
you're spending too much money, or you're not having fun because you're not eating garbage. Oh, you could be spending that $300 on something else. You can make excuses after excuses after excuses.
It's true.
But
True.
at the end of the day, with all the money you spend, with all the food that you let go of, all the parties that you don't go to, it's still way nicer to be at the top of the mountain.
Absolutely.
Right, yeah. Well,
So,
it's easier. Yeah, it's
that's the
definitely
answer
easier,
to
you
your
said. Yeah, it is.
question,
It's
why people
easier
do
to,
that.
yeah, to hate on the people on the top of the mountain instead of taking an introspective look, to be able to internalize and go, well, either you want to or you don't, but you don't have to diminish the people at the top.
Yeah.
Right. You don't gain anything by stepping up.
And I'm not looking at down at the people who are not up there. I'm like, bro, I was down
No.
there too. Just keep climbing.
Right.
I
that's-
don't
yeah.
like people who just make excuses and use other people as excuses to stop climbing.
Yeah, that's-
All right. It's not your mom's fault. It's not your girlfriend's fault. It's not your husband's fault. It's not your boyfriend.
Totally
My
my husband's
boyfriend
fault.
always brings like a bunch of candy. Like, dude, like, it's not their fault. My roommate, bless his soul, awesome roommate, has alcohol all over the place. I have a bar and all that stuff. I used to steal his alcohol here and there when he would be like, hey man, where did this alcohol disappear? Then I would pay with money. Now I never use that as an excuse of like, oh, I just have alcohol around me. Dude, it doesn't matter if there's alcohol around me or not around me. If I
Right.
want alcohol, I can get goddamn
Right,
alcohol.
right.
Yeah.
That's not an excuse.
It's the mind. It's the mental toughness to get through that. You know, to say no to that thing that's sitting right in front of you that you want really bad.
So, real quick, not real quick, nothing's quick with me. Sorry, am I interrupting anybody?
No.
So, going back to training and stuff. So, have you stuck with a trainer or a training program or a methodology for this long? The
No.
same one?
No.
Could you compare or just go over some of the stuff that you tried with? And you've had a trainer before.
I've had a trainer before.
And
I haven't had a trainer for this length of time. I think the other trainers were through other commercial gyms, I guess we'll call it, corporate gyms, without naming names. But I think I've always had a gym membership, and for the most part, I could go to the gym and kind of, work our way around the machines. I could read how to use it, kind of thing. And I have an idea, I think, just from being in sports and always, our coaches, we'd have to train, we'd have to do weight training classes, or we'd have to do something in addition to track or to softball. You have to go and you have to increase your speed and your endurance and your strength. So I've always been in a gym environment, so I'm not unfamiliar with it, but you still want someone. But I've also always been part of a team.
Oh.
Which is a big one. So for me, I am also admittedly very social, an extroverted introvert. I do like being around people. I thrive off that. So I was always part of a team. So having that someone push you, your team members push you, your coach is there to coach you. So then when I went off to 24-hour fitness, I still did group classes because I still get a team. I still made group friends, and then I would go do that. And then I think I tried a couple personal trainers, whether or not it just didn't gel, it just didn't work schedule wise. And then timing for me, timing is huge. It's at the timing at point in my life, I'm able to commit and dedicate. I think people, like you said, if they want to do it, they'll do it.
Yeah.
Working full time, I didn't want to do it at 5 a.m. and I didn't want to go after work. I did do, but I could make a class, right? I could make a class at 6 p.m. And go for an hour. And again, it was a class and it was a group session. But I realized I had exhausted. They had limitations. You could only do cardio class. And you peak on your fitness. I could only do that body pump weightlifting class 2 times a week, and then at some point I'm like, I peaked.
Yeah.
Right. You could only do so much, and then I don't know that am I hurting myself? Am I doing it right? Because you're doing these snatching, these lifts, and it's like, and I knew I wanted to do more. So at that point, when I decided I needed to do more and get stronger and better. It was time for me to say, okay, I need to commit to something else. But
Yeah.
I also knew I couldn't. I don't want to do it on my own, right? I don't want to completely take the reins on this on my own. I need someone to coach. I still need a coach. I still have that coach team mentality.
Yeah.
And in my program, because I always
And why you? Is that what you're wondering?
yeah,
Why you?
because
Yeah, why
dude,
did you
like
pick
I
Mo?
do-
Why you?
and
why have I stuck with you? That's a good question. I'm
Dude,
glad
because
you asked.
I do see myself. I understand the reality of how I can come off. Like, I mean, I come off as like back then. It's really easy for me to come off as a meathead soul patrol guy who's just figuring stuff out.
Yeah.
But so I
Well,
and-
yeah, you're not. Nobody's everybody's cup of tea. I think we're all.
So
that
you trusting me, like
Yeah.
one of the reasons that, like, when someone like you who doesn't come off as who's like, oh, I'm just gonna la di da through life. Like you make
Yeah.
a very specific decision of where your money is going, where your time is going.
Yeah.
Right. So when the fact that you gave me that confidence, and I'm still like, this is the first time I'm asking you that question, maybe.
Yeah.
That made me realize that I need to actually, and maybe at that time, probably at some level, I didn't even feel that I deserved the confidence that you and a lot of the girls who, ladies,
Sorry.
who was
People,
have
yeah.
stuck with me. It's mostly females. There's Topaz is the only, and
Wow.
Tito are the few people,
Yeah.
guys
Miguel.
who.
Miguel's,
Well,
yeah.
when I'm talking about 3 years.
Oh,
that
the long
Miguel,
term.
yeah,
you're right.
long term.
Topaz and Tito.
So during that time, I'm like, well, if she has this much confidence in me, and my training methodology has changed significantly, I'm like, I want to live up to that confidence, and I didn't think that, absolutely not. My training methodology wasn't where it should have been. So, what popped from my training that made it seem legit to you? And this is not, I absolutely am not asking you to like give me some compliments or anything, because I want to do more of it. I want to know
Not
what I
fishing for
did,
compliments.
He wants
and I
more
want to do
Liz.
more of it.
Yeah, you're not
You know?
fishing for. I'm not fishing for compliments,
Yeah.
but do tell me
Yeah.
why you like me. Well, okay. I think when you and I met, it wasn't that you were confident. I think you were very knowledgeable, and I could see that you were passionate about what you were doing. Right?
Yeah.
You still do it with every new client. Like, so as not an older client, not age-wise, but a client who's been around for a little while now, when I see new clients, you still go through the same process with the new clients. You go through your knowledge base, your methodology, why you do it. But I think with the same conviction that you did it when I met you. So that to me meant a lot. I also am a person who is loyal, and I think you have that same way of thinking and being. So that was, I was like, this guy, he sounds like he knows what he's talking about. He's passionate about it. He's got some drive.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, he's meeting the needs I have at this moment. I wasn't walking in being like, I want to bulk up, or I'm trying to enter a competition in a year or so. You were what I need and needed at the time. It wasn't like, what you were working for. You weren't, and you weren't like, we could lose a little weight here, because I didn't come in with like, I want to weigh 125 and want to be a size 2 and need to lose these love handles. so I didn't say that to you, and you didn't say that to me, which I think is important. Sometimes you go in, and some trainers are just like, "Oh yeah, we can get you looking like swimsuit ready." That wasn't your way of being, and I appreciate
Right.
that, because that's not what I wanted. And not to make it sound like it wasn't a sexist thing, but it wasn't how you approached it.
Yeah. And the reason why I did it is because it didn't work for me.
Right.
And I knew at the end of the day, like, because I had been working out for over like 10 years,
Yeah.
or actually more, like 10, 13 years.
And
Yeah.
in different modalities, right?
Yeah.
You've done different things.
And I was only focused on what I looked like. And I had sacrificed my health, my joints, hormone levels, lost hair and all that. And I was miserable,
That was
miserable,
important to you.
miserable.
I remember that was important to you too. So you were like, we're not going to hurt. We're not going to, without pain, which was important to me at that time. So, and still is, right? You always say if it hurts, we're stopping. We're
Yeah.
not pushing it. We're not pushing past our limits, which I think oftentimes in fitness and athletes are like, they take a hydrocortisone shot, whatever they're doing, and keep pushing. I was like, this is not what I'm here for.
Yeah.
Because I do care about your longevity. Like
Yeah.
if I give you results for 3 months and I know in the future you're gonna be worse off.
Yeah.
I guess like it hurts my business here and there, but I'm not willing to put you through that
Yeah.
just to give you what you want, and in the long term you're gonna be, it's gonna be detrimental to your health.
Yeah.
Because I mean, seriously, I love all of you guys. I want to make you happy. Like at the end of the day, I want you to be happier. And when I know that a few going a little bit harder and cutting down body fat here and there, it's gonna have more negative repercussions in the form of joints and messing up your metabolism, and you're gonna gain all that weight back. I'm just not gonna
not
do
gonna
it.
do
I'm
it,
not
yeah.
willing to do it.
Even when I'm like, I want to come in an extra day, or I'm going to go work out, you're like, no, you tell
Yeah.
me no.
Yeah.
I think and then now that it's been the time, we have a mutual understanding and respect. I think I'm a professional courtesy. We've always talked about it. If I have something I need to talk to you about, I talk to you about it, and vice versa.
Liz, I'm so scared when I'm talking to you about that. You're like, they're the only person. Like, and that biggest scare, like what you said, was I'm loyal, and I know that, and that terrifies me. You know why? Because I'm like, if there is a possibility that she sees a program that's better, right, and she will see more results, and that she enjoys more. But she might stay with me because of that loyalty. And I'm like, I'm not saying you'll do it. I want to believe that nobody will ever do that. But if it's happening, I'm doing every single thing I can to know that at least even if she thinks that there's something better, I want to make sure there's nothing better. Like that scares me that somebody is just staying with me and sacrificing progress, gains, and happiness just because they don't want to hurt my feelings.
And
So
for me, if there's one thing you don't know that you needed to know, like, what's thing I don't know about you? Then, in my case, if there is something, and I don't know that it's better, for me it would be different, right? I don't know that I would come and be like, oh, Mo, this is better, I'm going to go here. One thing to know about me, for sure, is if there is something that's different because it's now it's meeting a different need. Right? If I said Mo's not meeting this need, not because it's better, but because the need has changed, I'm going to talk to you about it first. That's with anybody. My thing is, if I want there to be a mutual respect and understanding, I'm going to show you that. It's a professional course. I would never go and be like, I'm leaving you tomorrow.
Right, with
to
no
go-
explanation.
With no explanation. I'm going to go train with this person and leave you thinking that because it's better, it might be my needs have changed. This is why. Either you can help me with that, or I do need a pivot, but it had nothing to do with you. It needs to do with my needs are changing. That isn't the case, but know that I'm always going to be very transparent with those types of things, because that's just in life. That's a mutual respect and understanding. And in our case, a professional courtesy. I'm not going to just, we're grown ass folks. We should be able to have these conversations without having our feelings hurt for the most part. Right?
Yeah.
Right. So no, that for you, I appreciate. You shouldn't be scared. I mean, you should be scared, but I know what you mean. Like you're concerned because you care about your craft.
Yeah.
And I get that, and I appreciate that, and that's again why I stay, because you care about your craft.
Yeah.
Right. That's what makes you you and your program so
Right.
successful with
Mo
all
is,
of us.
he's always willing to try new things and see if it benefits his program in any way. And if it doesn't, he takes it out. And he's
Yeah.
like, sorry, I made you guys do that. It actually doesn't
Yeah.
do anything at all.
I
We're
hate
going
it.
back
Yeah.
to the old ways.
Yeah.
But he also is very transparent and open about, and that's another thing that drew me to him too, was his passion. For me, that's huge. Like in my hair business, I like to surround myself with people who have the same amount of passion I do, because they're always trying to learn new things and make it better. And I saw that in him as well. And
You've been here a
I
year
admire
now?
that.
Yeah.
Yep, a year.
Oh, because I realized, just going on to that, is I wasn't always like that, and I realized it's easier on your mental health, energy, and just all around success to admit fault, admit you're wrong, and adapt right away. Because if you spend so much time trying to prove yourself right, and when you know it's wrong, its answer is in your face, then you're just gonna be like, you're doing yourself a disservice and your clients. You know, like when I added that conditioning stuff and this and that, I could have dragged that thing on for another month or two, just trying to prove a point. But no, it's just easier to like admit defeat, and you're like, and you're better off. I think the fastest way to improve yourself in any area is to find out that you're absolutely wrong about something. And that's the most difficult thing. When you
Yeah.
realize that I've been doing something for 5 years and I've been 100% wrong about something, now you're going to spend another 5 years doing some bullshit where you can just adapt. Like
Yeah.
Kiana, who was on our podcast, dude, I was wasted that morning too, and I had partied. That was a different part of my life. It was only a few years ago, but and I came here. I'm like, bro, I'm just coming over here. I know this. She's gonna have no knowledge. I'm the best. What is she gonna know? She's just a bikini competitor. But if there's one thing that this person knows that I don't know, I'm gonna find out.
Yeah.
And apparently there were a lot of things. A lot of things. You know, I'll sit down with this person. I don't even let men talk to me like that. And she
Yeah.
was just like, I disagree. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, okay, tell me how you disagree. And she would make a case and it would make sense. And literally after 2 hours of conversation with her, I changed my entire programming.
Wow. But I love that you're so open
Thank
to
you,
that.
Kiana.
Yeah. Thank you, Kiana.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I have a better program than her. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. So, yeah. Well, I have one other question to ask. Compared to the other training methodologies that you've done, compare enjoyability. Is that a word? How much you
it
enjoy?
is now.
Let's make it a word. That, I mean, rappers make their own words all the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, how much you enjoy it, and like, again, I kind of know the answer to the question. Maybe it's different, but that compared to, I mean, how challenging it is, and then work volume, and how stressed you are about like your eating habits and making it to the gym,
in terms
missing one workout.
In terms of stress level,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was enjoyable. I mean, I wouldn't come if it wasn't enjoyable.
So compared to like what you've done, like how, like for example, I'll compare it what I'm doing now to CrossFit.
It fits. This program fits my needs,
Mm-hmm.
and if I want more, you'll adapt, right? If I
Mm-hmm.
say, hey Mo, I want to go lift heavier,
Mm-hmm.
but safely, you'll pivot, right? You can adjust it.
Mm-hmm.
And even in a group, because we're not all one-on-one, we're group settings,
Mm-hmm.
and you still are able to give us some very
Yeah. Personal.
personalized
Mm-hmm.
programs. So I like that. In terms of our nutrition,
Dude, how simplified is it though?
The nutrition isn't. It's not hard, right? It may not be for everybody. It hasn't.
Yeah, tell us how you eat.
Mine has
Yeah.
nothing to do with Mo. Mo
Yeah.
tells me how we should eat, and again, it goes back to I do what I want.
It's more of a guideline. Yeah, yeah.
It's a guideline. It's a suggestion. I take it as a suggestion.
I mean, you've never really
Yeah.
followed a meal plan, right?
No, I've never followed a meal
Okay,
plan.
good.
And you don't, it's not like you're on us about following a meal plan. You don't like harp on us. You don't give us shit unless we start to. I think it goes with anything. If I start to complain about something, you're like, well, what the fuck are you eating?
We're gonna
with?
check in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna check in. I don't complain because I know the answer. I know what you're gonna say. But you do try to guide us with the nutrition. We're just not on a strict nutrition. And I think anybody who's coming in for a fast fix, this isn't the program for you, right? It's not a fast fix. Can you do it? Yes. Will you do it? Probably. Price, price is right.
Yeah. Right.
But it's not. This is something, and I think I just posted, and I think we've talked about it. You need to put in the time and the effort and consistency. Nothing comes easy to those
Right.
who want. It's not going to be.
And nothing with a quick result is going to be
But
long
you're not going to
lasting.
be eating just chicken, this boneless, skinless chicken breast and steamed broccoli. That's also not what we do.
Yeah.
It's not anything you've ever told us to. As a matter of fact, you say don't eat broccoli.
Yeah. And you've always eaten a meal until you're satiated.
I've always eaten a meal. I've adjusted. I pivoted, but I know I had an ice cream bar last night. I don't eat with guilt. I had an ice cream bar. Do I have them every day? Do I have them every week? No, that I have them on occasion. But I'm gonna eat the fucking ice cream bar. But I also I eat balanced. I eat my proteins in the morning. I try to have my eggs. I have my coffee. I have cut out sugar. I have done no carbs, and I still try to be very conscientious. But you're not giving us this plan that is unrealistic for everyday lifestyle.
Right.
But you
Or-
do try to make us be mindful of what we're eating.
Yeah. And it's not going to make or break the training program
It's not
either.
gonna, it's not going to.
Because that's just so powerful as it is that like you can eat your ice cream bar every now
Yeah.
and then. You're so consistent
my-
in your
yeah.
workouts and your activeness
Yeah.
that like you kind of like earned that ice cream bar.
Right. And it's not going to be, oh, I ate it and now I'm like, I don't understand why I'm bloated. Well, I understand why I'm bloated because I ate the goddamn ice cream.
Yeah.
Right? Or I drank a glass of wine for sure.
Yeah.
And you tell us that. You are very adamant about, well, when
Well,
I
what
come
did you
in,
think?
what did you
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
was going to happen?
Because I put everything down as an equation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
That's
yeah.
just
Well,
it.
I'm in
You
here
know
working out
exact-
4 days a week. Yeah, but you're also eating like shit 4 days a week. I mean, that's just logic.
Right.
But we know what
Yes.
that's just no, but it works. It works. If you want to not do cardio, realistically, if you want to not do cardio, you want to have a balanced, healthy diet.
Oh, and
And
real
when
quick.
come to
So
work out,
so
right?
how much cardio do you actually do besides
Aside the boxing,
Yeah.
and I mean that's. What do you call that cardio? I don't go running. I don't go on a treadmill. I don't do stair climber.
And you're boxing like 1 hour a week.
1 hour a week. I do.
So that's
like,
about 1 hour from
Yeah.
a high intensity, like it'll get your heart rate up
heart
once
rate
a week.
cardiovascular.
Not
and my
going
heart
on
rate
runs,
goes- no,
all
not
that
going
stuff.
on runs. Yeah, in terms of just the joint stuff, that's just doesn't work for me. So that's
Okay.
so.
So I really want to point that out. So this is by design. So over the last 3 years, my training methodology has changed, but the one thing that I'm very adamant about is that I do not do low intensity cardio. I don't think it is necessary. I don't think none of my clients have actually come and like, oh, I enjoy it here and there, 1 or 2 people, but not really. The elliptical, the Stairmasters, the long, like 20, 30 minutes of rowing and all that stuff, it's doing absolutely nothing. And Liz, I mean, you started boxing, I mean, how long ago? Even when you started with Z?
With Z, it's probably been. It was a year. Probably
Yeah.
a year. I started with Z originally, like February of last year.
Yeah.
And then again, and then
Yeah.
picked it back up just in the last few months.
Yeah. And about that training that she's talking about that she did with Z and with James now it's very high intense. Like if you have bad VO2 max cardiovascular endurance, you're gonna be destroyed. But Liz went from like just training with me, doing no cardio, to just straight up jumping in there. And you can be honest with your experience. Did you go in there feeling like Jesus Christ, my cardio sucks and I haven't done shit for a long time?
I knew going into it that I was going to get gas fat quickly. The nice thing is you go in 2 and 3 minute rounds, so getting break. But I knew I was going to get gas in the first few, and then taking the break with Z, and then coming back with James, who has a different background too in his training. That was I was like, oh, this is going to be more intense because he has a mixed martial arts background. So I was like, he's really going to push it. maybe more than Z did.
Yeah.
So I think the first couple, I was like, I'm gonna vomit. It was crazy. Yeah, it's still.
Did you?
I did not.
Yeah.
I did not throw up.
But you handled it.
But we handled it.
Yeah.
We handled it, and it's built up since then. But it's never been something I couldn't do.
Yeah.
I wasn't so
Yeah.
gassed that I had to just. I'm done. Yeah. Like,
So that's good. That's a good point you're making, because I want to really drill this into people. You didn't do any low intensity cardio with me for a long time. I
No.
don't do any of it.
I try to get out of it actually most of the time.
Good. Good.
What
So-
do we? Yeah.
And then my other client, Maria, now she's training with my own Muay Thai coach, Ronnie,
Oh, right,
that I go,
right,
and
right.
this guy is hard. So I
he's-
like
yeah.
similar to James. They
Ronnie's-
push the
yeah,
cardio,
yeah,
right? So these are 3 markers. 2 females, 2 different backgrounds. Me, I've been a chunky butt all my life, and I just started training. I haven't done or gone on a run, done any cardio for. I mean, as long as you've
Yeah.
known me, 6-7 years, right? And all 3 of us went in there, and we were doing just fine. And I will guarantee this. I swear by this statement, we were above average.
Yeah.
Way above average, and anybody who's doing cardio and all that stuff, and we can go over it. But one thing you got to take away from this is one of the biggest reasons why you've seen so much progress, Liz, is that we kept that cardio away.
Oh right. Yeah.
I have more markers for you.
Mm-hmm.
The Spartan race.
Oh, that's right. This part.
Dude, you
Oh yeah, I
an
forgot I
L,
did that.
like no cardio. You
Yeah.
go run a freaking
right.
15-mile
Uh-huh.
Spartan race with all
Uh-huh.
those obstacle courses as
Yeah.
well with 0 training.
Uh-huh.
Like that was freaking insane.
Yeah, so that's great.
yeah,
So
that's a
there were
good-
there were 3 of us. So all 3 of us don't do any low intensity cardio. One of my clients, Elle, who's been with me for a year and a half now. One of the trainers, Tiffany Aguayo from this gym, she doesn't do any low intensity cardio, and the one and only Big Dog, Grandmaster Games, right? All 3 of us went over there, no preparation, no cardio, and we did the Spartan race with 0 training. And I literally saw Elle and Tiffany, they're both around 5 feet
5.
tall, do all the monkey bars, smoked me on the cardio. My ass getting run, right? Because the uphill and down train, I got pissed off when we came down, and I just smoked him on the straight run. Because going up and down, I'm like, these tiny little legs, they were smoking me. No cardio. So, and no preparation. So, low intensity cardio is absolutely useless. It doesn't do anything for you.
Yeah.
Good point. I didn't even remember I did that bad, actually. It was so easy.
Yeah. That's great.
So, I want to, if you have more to, I want to kind of wrap this, or at least summarize. So, Liz, you represent every single thing that I want in a friend, client. I look up to you as like as a mother, wife, friend. Dude, it's amazing. Like I wanted to bring you here to just because I did just now looking at men who are disciplined that I'm trying to strive to be like. Ronnie is a good example, Ed Milet, but you 100% in my life represent one of the most amazing women I've ever met. And I feel like if more women, and I'm not telling people what to do, this is my opinion, strive to have more characteristics, respect, love like you, this world would be a way better place because
Yeah.
my life is better because you're in it.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I would cry, but I can't.
Oh my
I don't have
gosh.
tear ducts.
Yeah, tear duct. I had them removed. Tear ducts are for sissies.
All right. Jordan?
I appreciate that. Thanks for having me. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me, both
Thank
of
you so
I
much
appreciate
for coming
This
on
was
here
very cool.
telling
Thanks
us
for
your
the coffee.
story.
Yeah, for
Of
sure.
course.
Yeah.
And everybody, please like, review, comment. And do you want to share your Instagram with our viewers?
Sure.
Yeah.
It's at Lizzie Kennedy, Lizzy Kennedy.
I'm going to put it in the
You
description.
can.
Okay,
too.
cool.
Tag
Oh,
me.
dude,
Slide into my DMs.
Oh yeah, right. I can do
Not like
I
that,
can do special
but I like
effects
that.
now. I can like it'll be like, look, I'm gonna do this, and our Instagram is gonna pop up.
Pop up. Yeah.
Whoa.
Thanks
Yeah.
for having me. It's my first official podcast.
You did an
Yeah,
amazing
thank
job.
you.
Your
Thank
first podcast
Ever.
is with the Grandmaster
Yeah,
Gaines.
thank you.
God damn you,
That's
Liz.
right.
You know,
She's killing it. She's unstoppable.
I should have started with that. I
yeah.
did all that badass stuff. Like her first podcast.
first ever.
ever podcast with
never done a
Grandmaster
podcast.
Gaines. Liz, I love you.
With
Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Thank you, Liz. Thank you, everybody.
Jesus Christ. Fucking shoulders. All right.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. And we will be here next week.
All right. Hasta la vista. Let's see if it's recorded.
I hate when he says that.